Good afternoon and welcome to Padre's Ponderings from the chapel.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. It's a beautiful day in the low country, but the sun's shining, but
Like
some
all of a
raindrops started
sudden-
coming.
I know, all of a sudden. But, you know, that is in keeping with the pattern that we've had what feels like most of the summer.
Except it hadn't
Rain.
turned dark outside. And the people are still working on the columbarium out there, so they don't expect it to be raining much longer.
He was out there watering the tree, so maybe he can take a break for a minute.
Maybe so, but see, it's not raining now. It just passed through.
No, it is.
Just like that. Lots going on, though. Whew.
I know.
What's the biggest thing happening in your mind
In
right
my
now?
world right now,
Yeah.
getting ready for all the fall offerings, confirmation. We have baptisms at the end of August. So we're working on some of those.
I'm working on a sermon for that, about the whole idea that great cloud of witnesses, and when you're baptized, you're born into something much bigger than yourself, and the communion of saints and the creed, and there's a lot of different ideas rolling around. It's not solidified yet, but I'm on the trail. Going to tie in the columbarium somehow or another with that too, and we've been having a spate of funerals here.
Oh, I know. I just got off the phone. Planning two for next week, actually.
2 for next week or this week?
Next week.
Had one yesterday with Judy Brown.
That was lovely. That was really lovely.
Yeah. A lot of special people, and as we walk together and we live together, we're in that process of passing from this world together and living together in the world to come by God's grace. So, but that was just a real special little service. Not one little service, there's a lot of people there, but just a special time, intimate time. I would say intimate, even though there was a lot of people there.
There was a lot of people, but it was real special. I loved the inclusion. They have, I could be off on a couple of numbers here, but 14 grandchildren and 9 great-grandchildren, I think, is what one of the speakers said. And how all of the grandchildren were included in the service. And I hadn't seen that before, and it was just really, really sweet. Maybe 2 of them would read the reading, and then the rest of them were standing behind them.
Yep.
So they all participated in one way or another.
That sense of family oneness.
Sweet. And legacy.
Yep. And that's true too.
Judy is leaving a
And
legacy
Yeah.
of faith and care and love. Everybody had talked about what a lovely person she was, and her laugh and her smile.
And the campus is alive with little people, and then you got to watch the time you work for carpooling in the morning and carpooling in the afternoon. But they got that down to a science, though.
They do.
The way they have those cars circulating.
What did Joe say when he was here with you? We improve daily.
Yeah, they got it down.
So they have improved that daily.
The walkie-talkies and all that stuff they're doing, that is really special.
Except, you know what happened last week?
No.
We order supplies from Cisco, a big company that delivers things to us. And we have told them over and over and over again, there's a certain time when you deliver on this campus that you have to arrive. If you arrive at the wrong time, it's a mess. So first day of school, Thursday, that truck arrived at 3 p.m.
Oh.
Dismissal was at 3
Oh.
p.m.
Well, I bet the cars were lined up, weren't
I felt so bad for the driver.
they? Cars would have
Cars
been
were
lined
already in
up.
line.
Oh, yeah.
And so they literally were stuck for about 30 minutes. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
We told you.
There's nowhere for the cars to go.
That's right.
He's like,
We told you.
So I'm thinking it might not happen again.
Yeah, because time is money with those people.
I know.
They're on
I know.
deliver it, drop it and go, drop it and go, drop it and go.
We got the supplies, but they had to sit and wait.
Yeah. So Cross Schools is off to a real good start. And you're talking about programming coming up. We got Alpha and Strengthening Your Journey, and we've sent out letters to people who joined since last year on Strengthening Your Journey, but we've been advertising in worship services and e-news and all the rest of that because it's open to anybody.
We have quite a few people, well, I don't know about quite a few, but we have some people who have signed up and they're new to the church, new to the area, and they're going to go through Strengthening Your Journey to learn more about the Anglican faith.
And every year we have some people come to that who are not members. They just want to know what it's all about and then make a decision that's more informed on the backside of that. And that's perfectly fine. You got your Alpha going on, and then
Alpha starts in September, Daughters of the Holy Cross discernment period. So women that are interested in joining the Daughters of the Holy Cross, they're going to start in September with a new class where you can go through and decide, is this something that you would like to be a part of?
yep. And
And they did a beautiful job yesterday. Judy Brown was a daughter. And so they did the reception, which was lovely. They did a wonderful job with that.
And then you're talking about the funerals coming up. We've got the healing after loss
That starts
for
in
folks who are in
September.
that grieving process, not immediately after the death, but 5 or 6 months into it, where they can sit down and be in a group with folks and work through the grieving process in an intentional kind of way with some very experienced people. Small group, a lot of confidential sharing that goes on in that. That's a big program for people. I think it's big. It's big for women, but it's even bigger for men who have lost a wife.
I think you're right. Men don't often have that space for being vulnerable and
That's right.
sharing and emotions, and those are big emotions. So
Men have a
being in
tendency
that,
just to pack it in,
Right.
And that's
not healthy.
it's not healthy.
Right.
It's not healthy. But that's coming up, and there are a ton of other things happening too. But the thing is, fall's here. Fall's here. Yesterday, the top 25 preseason college football polls
Saw
were
it.
out.
Oh my goodness! Did you see? Well, Texas is 1, right? Mm-hmm. Penn State 2.
2.
Ohio State 3.
Yep.
Okay, so the first game is Texas Ohio State, isn't it?
Yep.
Is that going to be in Arlington?
No, it's in Texas. It's in Ohio.
Oh, okay. Usually they do it in a really big stadium like Cowboys.
No,
or
it's
something
going to
like
be.
that.
They call the statement at the stadium at Ohio State the horseshoe.
Okay.
It's going to be.
Oh.
It's going to be up there. That's kind of ironic that it's going to be called the horseshoe. But that's where that one's going to be. And then you've got
Clemson and
LSU. Both those are in the
Top
tops.
10.
Yeah. So you got some big ones cranking up off the first weekend. Very big. Clemson's ranked way up 4.
I know.
But all of that is based on very nebulous kinds of things because nobody's tackled the first person or thrown the first pass or
I
anything.
think it's related to TV ratings.
TV ratings, probably.
You got a number 1
Reputation.
and number 3 playing. You got a number 4 and number 9.
Yeah.
Ratings go.
Yeah. Reputation is a big thing on that. So it'll start to shift and sort pretty doggone quick, and then so that's not this weekend. I don't think it's maybe the 30th that last weekend in
Labor Day
August.
weekend?
The last weekend in August, yeah. And then the pros crank up right after that. Preseason stuff happening. When football's here, that means fall is in the air. Fall
Even when
is-
it's hot
yeah,
as blazes.
Even when it's hot as blazes. Now up north, I would expect that the
It's,
time you hit September, the
it starts to cool off.
leaves are starting to turn a little bit, cooling in the air and all that kind of stuff. But down here,
Yeah, those first few games when you go to a football game, it is
Yeah.
hot.
August is not for sissies in the South. It's not. You walk out sometimes that heat, but it's the heat and the humidity together that runs that index up high. But anyway, we get these afternoon showers that kind of strips it down a little bit, drops the temperature, and amazingly drops the humidity too. You'd think it would raise the humidity, but it doesn't. So
So you preached on the historic campus this past weekend at 10.
10 o'clock on the historic campus. I'll be over here this week for the chapel at 9 and Cross Point at 10:30. And looking forward to that. And I thought the sermon was pretty good. Your mother thought it was pretty good. That's the acid
was
test.
this her second time, third time hearing it?
First time.
That was her first time. Okay.
Yeah. I'm working with a cycle where the first time I preach it is 10 o'clock over there.
Okay.
Then over here, do 2 services, 9 and 10:30. Then the next week, back to historic, 5:28 and 8. So we're rotating over a 3-week thing. And then when I'm preaching, I have trying to work with one of the younger fellows to be celebrating. So they're not having to focus on preaching and celebrating. They
Since
get that
they
liturgy.
are newly ordained.
They can get that liturgy down and feel comfort with that, so that when they start preaching, they're not in the pulpit thinking about, oh, geez, am I going to get the words right in the Eucharistic prayers and stuff like that. So we're just working with that. And then after each service, I'll talk to them a little bit about, what about this, and maybe
No,
you can do that better.
John
and all
shared
that.
with me
So
that you taught him was it a trick about putting the veil back on?
there are a lot of those little things like that, that it just makes it easier. And once you see that, you don't have to worry about it anymore. And I watched him when he was doing it, and he started at the back and coming forward, and he had too much cloth in the front, and so he was struggling to kind of get the thing evened out, and everybody's watching him and all that. So, there's better ways to do things like that. That's right. That's right. Your mama would call that a hack. She gets these things on the Facebook or somewhere like that, shortcuts to do things. I don't know if
So
she
you're
made
giving
up that.
Eucharistic hacks.
Yeah, that's right. So, anyway, just little tips, I guess, is what it would be.
Excuse me.
But that just to make it a little bit easier for them, so they're not concerned about it. You'd be surprised how distracting things like that can be when you're new to doing it and all that. So anyway, we're trying to work through that in a methodical kind of way that'll bless them and bless the congregation, and be God-honoring at the same time. And I'm real pleased with John. He's a special young man, great heart for the Lord. And Dave the same way. I think they have a similar heart of compassion and empathy and
Very much so.
and all that. And so they take serving to heart in a very, very, very real way, as they should. And it's just, I enjoy so watching the next generation of folks coming along and having a little bit of input into their ability to lead and to inspire others. So anyway, that's what's up over here this weekend for both services. Back to historic 5:28 for 8 the following week after that, and then start the rotation over again. So
It was already the 3rd Sunday of August, so we'll have communion at Cross Point this week.
So we have this Sunday, then the next Sunday, and then the last Sunday, the 31st, is when you have baptism on the historic campus. I'll be there for that.
I will too, actually.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're doing something different with baptism in this when you start the certificates with the frames and all that.
We are moving away from banners because we don't have as many women who sew. So we have shifted up the banners to do pictures to hang in the child's room. The same imagery of the dove and the cross and the flame and the waves, different colored waves. Child's name will be printed on it.
Whose picture is it?
We created it.
Oh, that's the
It's a
picture of the.
watercolor.
Okay. All
It's
right.
like a painting.
So I look forward to seeing that.
The supplies came today.
Yeah.
I'll be working on that.
When you say not as many people sew, it's a different world, isn't it?
And we're, it's tedious work.
I remember, I don't even know if they have it, but I would go shopping with Mama. Mama sewed. She made both my sister's dresses and stuff like that. She didn't buy stuff. She made it. And we go into the dry goods stores, what they call it. But it would be like, in the South, it was Belk's was the big one.
Yep. Still is.
And they'd have a whole section in there that would be patterns. And then next to the patterns, you had all the buttons and
the notions,
needles
what they call
and
notions, notions, all the buttons
Yeah.
and zippers and
buttons and zippers and threads, God, just
snaps.
walls of different color threads and all that kind of stuff, you know. And
Charlie Fiddler carries around a sewing kit with him. I'm impressed.
really,
In his backpack.
is that just for show? Or
No,
does
he
know how
needed
to do
it. No, he uses it, and he knows how to use it. He was in the airport. He was telling us not too long ago, this is how I know this. He was in the airport, and the strap on his backpack broke. So he's sitting there waiting between flights and sewing it up.
Wow.
He's got
Good
some
for
skills.
Charlie.
I know.
Do they still have those sections in blood?
No.
Do they still have Belks?
Belka's still here, yes. Belka's still, we have one on Hilton Head. But the fabric stores, there aren't many left.
And how about the patterns and all
You'd
that?
have to go to a special fabric store. Like, I think Michael's has some. Used to be something called Joann's Fabrics. They just went bankrupt.
Bankrupt. But you know that thing you just now there's all this stuff online and you just order
Yeah,
it up and if it doesn't fit you send it back and,
Right, you could buy something for
and
far
it's
cheaper than
and it's just like
buying a
that.
pattern.
And it's just like that. So and someone is very meticulous and time consuming
Very.
and fitting people up. I saw an advertisement on television for jeans, blue jeans. And it said, why get a pair of jeans that's, you know, you go to the rack and you get it and they're made for everybody with this size waist. And so, you know, here's how you use your iPhone. And you run your iPhone and your iPhone takes eight different measurements.
What?
You send the measurements to the company and they make the jeans to fit. No.
Fancy.
Make it to fit and send them to you.
Okay.
Best jeans you ever got, they say. You know. And then
Should
I
we
saw
try that on you?
no. And then I saw a thing a couple of days ago about sheets made out of bamboo.
I saw that last night too. They're very soft.
Bamboo.
Bamboo sheets, they're very, very soft. I have a set.
And so there's no doubt there's bamboo clothes out there too.
I
You
don't
know,
know
and
about that. But bamboo grows fast.
so I mean it's a renewable resource and
Yes.
all that kind of stuff. But you know, just you size it on your iPhone.
That is wild.
And it's delivered right to
I
the
haven't
house.
heard about
Think how
that.
different that is than trying to fit patterns and all that
Oh
kind
my
of stuff.
gosh,
And then you
that's
got all the
amazing.
elastic clothes and all that. Not elastic. What is it? The stretchy stuff. Is it elastic?
Spandex,
Spandex.
lycra, there's all kinds now. Yeah. You know what I watched? I was watching last night is a documentary on the Shroud of Turin. That was fascinating. I sent the link to you. That was really fascinating. I didn't finish it because I fell asleep, but I'll finish it tonight.
Yeah. I didn't finish it either. We watched about 20
Did you get
minutes
to
of it,
the
but it's
part-
like an hour and a half.
It is an hour and a half. Did you get to the part about the crown of thorns?
You know,
Did you know that?
there's just so much out there that the further we move in technology and all of that, the more we're able to validate from Scripture.
That was amazing. Amazing. And the face cloth. Where's that? In Spain?
I don't remember the name of the place, but yeah. So, you know, it is, but instead of discounting
Yeah.
tradition and history and all that kind of stuff, it's validating
Yes.
all of it.
Yeah, all the archaeological digs and things that they're finding, like it's all validating.
Yeah.
That was amazing how they, between I think he said the fifth and sixth rib,
Right.
the stains around that were post-mortem, which when
That's
you read the
just what the
gospel,
Bible
that's
says.
exactly what the gospel
Yeah,
said.
just what the Bible says.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, got that to look forward to. We watched Compline last night with John. We enjoy the Compline online, 9:15 on Mondays and Thursdays, I think it is. And the different priests rotate around doing the Compline. That's very special.
I love that addition to our
Yep.
schedule.
And then you got the morning prayer.
This morning, we were in here for morning prayer.
In here, 9 o'clock on Tuesdays. Historic campus is 9 o'clock on Thursdays. We're just a quiet time of the morning prayer service in the prayer book. And there's personal prayers after that too. So I think those little, everybody doesn't need that. Everybody doesn't want that. But it's a real blessing to those who are looking for something like that.
It's become a real rhythm for the people that gather here on Tuesday mornings. And then you see the same faces.
You know, it's like you go to the cafeteria. Everybody doesn't want everything on there, but you want to have something for everybody. And you know, you always got that container in the back of beets. There's not many people want the beets, but it's there if you're looking for beets. Because that's the idea. You want to have something for everybody who comes. Your role is to feed people, and you want to have something there that people want to. That'll make a difference for them.
Yeah.
So.
Well, speaking of cafeteria, Bradley and Charlie were putting up some AV equipment in the expansion dining hall. We're not calling it a cafeteria, dining hall. So we're getting close.
How close do you think we are?
You know, you hate to say, but probably 2 weeks.
Refractory is a better word for that. Refractory. That's the old-time word for that. And boarding schools and all that was the refractory. Seminaries, all that kind of stuff, they call them the refractory. When I was in school, you had the refractory, and the tables were all down here, and you sat in order from the oldest to the youngest, and there was always a teacher and spouse, a master, and then at the table that was up high, there was one of those, was the headmaster and his wife, and the presidents of the different classes and stuff were up there. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be that formal.
No, but it was, you know, it was.
But it's a great space.
The meal time was a special gather around the table kind of time,
Yeah.
just like communion is. I remember in the ninth grade at Shattuck, you know, that building was ancient. They kept it perfect though, but the big all ceilings and all that. So everybody's in there, and a bat comes whizzing down through the thing, and of course everybody's going crazy over the bat. And a man named Reginald Kramer, he was the tennis coach.
Oh my God.
He went to his office, and he got his tennis racket, and he stood in the aisle, and he had the tennis racket behind him. When that bat came whizzing by, at the last minute, he put it out like that, the bat hit right into the racket. He didn't have time he couldn't see it. Till the last minute, he pulled that thing out, and the bat hit the racket. And everybody cheered and all that kind of stuff.
I feel like he'd done that before.
Oh, my goodness. Must have. But, you know, at the time, he was a big hero. Big hero. I'm sure that people signed up for tennis a lot after that. But
That was good recruiting.
he got that bat. Amazing. Amazing. So, what else you got?
We have new cards.
New cards.
We have new cards that you might see around, and it is for the food bank. And there's a QR code on the front because we've had requests for what's an easy way, quick way to give to the food bank. So the QR code goes straight to the giving and to the food bank. So it's ways to donate because sometimes people, like some of the neighborhoods around town, collect. But people in the neighborhood are like, oh, can I just donate money instead? And so this is a good way to help the food bank. And on the back, it tells how to donate and distribution hours. So that's a new card we've got.
Had a lady joined the church this morning, Kathy, and she and her husband volunteer at the food bank. And she's just joining the church. That is a ministry. That and God's Goods are both a ministry people can get into if they're not members of the church, can't be in leadership, but they can be volunteers out there. And she just marvels that there's so many people coming through there, and how much
amazing.
food moves through there. Gracious
So
goodness.
this week the needs are tuna pasta sauce, hearty soup, paper bags, and plastic bags.
She had a bunch of bags with her this morning.
There you go. And we've got things out front right now, actually.
Well,
All right, so give us a nugget to part with today.
I'm starting.
Pearl of wisdom is what you used to say
I'm
in class.
fixing to start reading a new book. I just got
Oh,
it.
what?
The Devil Reached into the Sky,
Okay.
and it's about the development of the atomic bomb.
Ah,
And it's all eyewitness, verbal biographies that have been collected over time of the people involved in the major roles of all that. It is stunning.
did you ever see Oppenheimer? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was good. It was
I read the preface to it last night and the author's introduction and all that. And amazingly, I had just seen, he was talking about how huge that mobilization was to build that. And the urgency wasn't driven so much by Japan, it was driven by Hitler and all that, and the scientists coming over, all of it being pulled together in there. And he said that that project was going on. Then he had all these others geared up. And he said that Ford Motor Company led it at the Willow Run plant. And they were turning out a bomber every 63 minutes, every 24 hours a day. Now, so many of those bombers are getting blown out of the sky too now, or crashing or whatever, and that's serving Pacific and all that. But they had that thing down every 63 minutes. And how he built that plant, how many millions of square feet in the plants, and all the resources came in there. They built a channel for big boats to bring the ore in there to make the coal to power the plant. And it was really fascinating.
That was all in the preface?
No, he referenced that. I saw a program on television.
Okay. I was like, wow.
I saw a program on television that went back through that.
Okay, so that's where you got it.
About the building of the Willow Run plant and how that was moved by the war effort and how industry just adapted. And it was about Ford and all that, and how the Model T and the conflict with Ford and the Dodge brothers and all the rest of that, and then how patriotic people were back then, and how when the war effort started, the government came to him and said, we got to have some planes and stuff like that, and he had the expertise with assembly lines. So they built this whole plant, Willow Run. It's still there operating, but now they're not building planes. Now they're back to building cars. But that whole idea
And
of
the
patriotism.
women were running a lot of that assembly.
53% of the work in those plants was done by women. And one of the, it talked about how many rivets were in a bomber, and it was thousands of them. And it showed newsreels of the women doing those rivets like that, and one of them was named Rose, and so they called her, she became the poster person for Rosie the Riveter, But how that was just, the women they just came, and 54 hours, that was the work day. I mean, that was the work week, 54 hours.
Wow.
6 9-hour days. 6 9-hour days. And it ran 24 hours a day. But they had that thing down there here. A bomber every 63 minutes. So, but that's another story. Looking forward to getting into the book, though. Looking forward to
Sounds
getting
like
into
you
the book.
already have a lot of background knowledge, so you'll glean
Oh,
some.
yeah, well, I know some things about all that period of time and all
Yes, you
that,
do.
but to get the personal biographies and all that, that's that brings things alive. It really does.
All right, well, we'll see you this weekend on this campus, and Nathan is at Historic. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Nathan's at Historic. Yes.
I'm trying to keep up with
Voices
mine.
from above said yes.
I'm trying to keep up with mine, so.
Okay. All right, well, go in peace to love and serve the Lord. Thanks be to God.
Thanks be to God. Amen. See you when I see you. Blessings, people.